All right, we're moving on to 8-5 here. So I want you to try the getting ready problem, read through it, pause the video, and then try it on your own, start it back up, and compare your work. Okay, assuming you've paused it, we have a solar panel over here, and it says the area of the solar panel is given by the trinomial x squared plus 7x plus 12. The height of the solar panel is x plus 3. What's the length of the solar panel? So what we can do is we can kind of make a box here. We can fill out what we know in the box. So I know that this is going to be x plus 3. Okay, and I know the area inside here is going to end up being x squared plus 7x plus 12. Okay, well, if you think about it, what is going to get me to 12 right here in this box? Well, it's got to be a 4. Okay, so that's going to be 4. And what is going to get me to x squared? Well, this has to be an x, so it's got to be x squared. And once I figure those things out, the rest kind of falls into place. This is going to be 4x. This is going to be 3x, and together 4x and 3x is going to be 7x. Okay? So let's look at problem 1. It says, what is the factored form? So first of all, what does the factored form mean? Factored form means you're looking for a length and a width. So factored form means you're looking for a length and a width. So this is the area, and length times width equals the area. So you're looking to factor it. You're basically looking to get the dimensions, the area of this. So you want to write over here what this is going to factor into. And there's a couple different ways that you can do this. Okay, you can, write x right here and x right here. This is going to be x squared. And then this is going to be a 15, what multiplies to 15. And you could mess around with the numbers and probably figure it out like that, guessing and checking. Or you can use this x method over here. Okay, so the x method, you set it up like this. When you have a trinomial, it's always going to be in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c. Okay, so this value is going to be my a value, this is my b value, this is going to be my c value. So you're going to say what multiplies to b and adds up to c. So what two numbers multiply to 8? And actually, let's do it a little bit different, just for later on. Let's put c up top here. So what multiplies to c, 15, and adds to 8? So think about it. What two numbers multiply to 15 and add to 8? Well, that would be 3 and 5. Okay, so 3 times 5 is 15. 3 plus 5 is 8. So over here, I know this is going to be a 3, and this is going to be a 5. And when I fill that out, this is going to be x squared, 3x here, 5x here, and I know 5x and 3x is going to be 8x. So the factors are x plus 3 and x plus 5. So you can consider that the length and the width. Okay, pause the video, try this got it problem that I'm highlighting right here in orange. All right, assuming that you've tried that problem, what multiplies to the last term, which is c, and adds to 11? What two numbers multiply to 24 and add to 11? Well, it's going to be 3 times 8 is 24, and 3 plus 8 is 11. So this is going to equal r is the variable plus 3 times r plus 8. So again, now we're kind of going the reverse. I'm given the area, and I want to find the length and the width, the dimensions of this. And I could also use this box to double check it. So I know that I want to get to 24 here, and this is going to be r squared. So this has to be r, this has to be r. These are both going to be plus. So this is going to be plus 3, and this is going to be plus 8. So I would get 8r here and 11r here. Okay, just so you know, let's add a page here. The standard form for a quadratic equation. Let's write that down. So, standard form for a quadratic function or quadratic equation is going to be ax squared plus bx plus c. Okay, we're going to use this pretty much throughout the rest of the year. So my constant is c, is the last term. My middle number is b, and whatever's by x squared, usually a 1 to start out. We'll get into some later on in this chapter where it's not 1, but that's standard form for a quadratic equation. Okay, kind of like standard form for a linear equation was ax plus bx. For a linear equation was ax plus by plus c. Okay, moving on here. Problem number 2. Okay, what happens when you have a minus sign right here? Well, you can still do the same thing. So we want the factored form. I'm going to make an x, and I'm going to think to myself, what multiplies to 24 and adds to negative 11? Okay, well, if they multiply to a positive and add to a negative, that means they both have to be a negative. So this is going to be negative 8 and negative 3. All right, so, and I could again check that. So let's just check it. This is going to be x minus 8, x minus 3. That's x squared. Check that off. This is going to be a positive 24. Check that off. And when I add these up, that's going to be negative 11x. So I know the correct dimensions here are x minus 3, x minus 8. Okay. Let's move on to problem 3. So what is the factored form of x squared plus 2x minus 15? Okay, well, same thing. I'm going to make an x. That's why it's called the x method. And I'm going to put my last term here. So this is ax plus ax squared plus bx plus c. My c value is negative 15. And my b value is going to be 2. Okay, so what multiplies to negative 15 and adds to a positive 2? Well, it's going to be negative 3 and 5. Okay, so when I factor this, this is going to factor into x minus 3 times x plus 5. And I could, again, always double check this. I have x minus 3, x plus 5. This is going to be x squared minus 3x. And this is going to be 5x minus 15. Okay, so this is going to work. This is where I get my x squared from, right there. That's my negative 15 right there. And 5 and negative 3 is going to be a positive 2. So I know these factors are correct. Okay, pause the video. Try 3, A and B. All right, assuming that you've given those two a go, let's try them. Make an x. What multiplies to negative 36 and adds to 9? So it's got to multiply to negative 36 and add to 9. So that would be a negative 3 and 12. So this would factor into n minus 3 and plus 12. Okay, the next one. What multiplies to negative 21 and adds to negative 4? Well, that would be a negative 7 and a positive 3. Negative 7 times 3 is negative 21, and negative 7 plus 3 is negative 4. Okay, so I know that that's going to factor into c minus 7c plus 3. All right, we're going to stop there. So that is 8-5.